Hi, my name's Katharine Keating, and I'm the managing partner of SOUNDWaves, a climate-focused investment group. And I'm joined today by Ryan Fristch, the co-founder of CloudPaper. And we're happy to be joining the Earth Day 2022 virtual stage today. So thank you for having us. So Ryan, let's talk about toilet paper.
Let's do it.
Which is fast becoming one of my favorite subjects to talk about because it's a product that we all use, but its environmental impacts are kind of wildly misunderstood. And so on that note, do you want to talk about the deforestation caused by CPG paper products? Because I don't think that that's like there's an education piece missing on that point. And I guess why you started CloudPaper.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So CloudPaper, just to kind of kick things off here, Katharine, is a tree-free paper products company. Right. And that means that we're on a mission to end the deforestation caused by traditional paper products. So think facial tissue, toilet paper, paper towels. Now, the problem we're trying to solve, like you mentioned, is a bit kind of overlooked in a lot of ways and has been overlooked is, toilet paper and this kind of category of personal paper and tissue products was invented, call it 150 years ago, with very, very little innovation since, and especially a lack of innovation in sustainability. The problem is we've been cutting down trees ever since to make these paper products, right? So around the globe, if you look at it today, we cut down about an acre of forest land every second. About 15 to 20% of that ends up in toilet paper and paper towels and facial tissue products that are literally being thrown away immediately after use. And so we want to go and solve that problem. And so we've innovated and invested in a lot. And like, what is the solution here? How would we go out and build the world's most sustainable paper company, starting with using tree-free fibers? And that's what we've set out to do.
But I actually heard, like, just to make it a little bit more tangible and practical, like I heard a stat that we cut down, I think in the US alone, 27,000 trees a day to make paper product goods, right? Which is like the equivalent of a Central Park. Is that stat correct? Like when you think about the enormity of that just for toilet paper and paper tissues, like it's a wild environmental impact.
Right, and you're right. And I would just reiterate, that's every single day. 27,000 plus trees are cut down just for toilet paper and paper towels. And it's an interesting comparison. It's almost exactly the number of trees that are in Central Park in New York City is being wiped clear every single day for throwaway paper.
So what's the solve for this? Like, can you explain how bamboo's solving for this and why you chose that as the fiber for your product?
Yeah, so our products are made with 100% bamboo. And the reason why that is a better solution than cutting down old growth forests for paper is bamboo is actually a grass. So fun fact number one, it's a grass and it's the fastest growing plant in the world. So a mini species of bamboo can actually grow up to 3 feet a day. So you can literally, Katharine, if you're in your backyard and some of these species, watch it grow in front of your eyes if it's growing 3 feet a day. So it's an incredibly fast growing plant. And what that means is you can actually harvest it for paper products in as little as 3 to 5 years versus your average tree looking at 50, 70 plus years for harvest. And many times we're actually cutting down trees that are much, much, much older than that for these products, right? So it's a very quick growing plant that you can harvest very quickly. What's interesting as well about the plant is you don't actually have to replant it after harvesting, where, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the images, satellite images and whatnot of what the land looks like after we've clear cut it, right? It's just absolutely decimated. Where with bamboo, it immediately starts regrowing without replanting. And so one way we think about it is like much more like getting a haircut than kind of going totally bald. And so that's what's interesting about bamboo. At the end of the day, if you look at, apples to apples, one toilet paper roll that you'll find traditional, made by a traditional brand on a Target shelf, and a roll of CloudPaper or 100% bamboo toilet paper roll, you immediately cut your carbon emissions or your footprint generated by your paper usage by 30%. And that's kind of the table stakes conservative estimate. CloudPaper does things like a 2x carbon offsetting on all transportation of our product. We're one of the first brands to be 100% plastic free, using only recycled materials in our packaging and shipping materials. So the benefits start to add up when you move over to a more sustainable brand, but just fiber to fiber, bamboo versus trees, off the bat, you're saving about 30% of your output.
So let's make that a little bit more practical too. So me as a household consumer, like how many trees would I be saving a year if I switched it to an alternate fiber product like that?
Yeah. So one way we look at it is you can save about 100 trees over a lifetime. Mm-hmm. in about an average household, say about 100 trees, right? Which, so, 100 trees isn't going to solve the globe's environmental problems, but you start to think as more and more people kind of start to adopt some of these tree-free solutions, the numbers can add up very, very quickly. For us, all up as a company, we're actually on a path to go and save 1 billion trees over the kind of arc of our company, and we're announcing some fun campaigns around Earth Month and Earth Day to kind of take the steps towards that direction.
Well, now that you mentioned it, please tell us more.
Yeah, so we're on a path to save 22,000 trees, essentially. So it's kind of a call to action for our new customers and our existing customers. We say this year we want to save 22,000 trees. Last year we calculated just by people switching to CloudPaper, we saved just over about 10,000 trees. So we said, hey, why don't we, one, let's double it. And two, just to make it easy to remember, let's do 22,000 trees on Earth Day 2022, right? And so what we're doing is throughout the month, we're doing all kinds of things. We're giving out free CloudPaper, we're doing tree planting, we're doing donations to nonprofits that are very much focused on this problem. So all orders, for step one here is all orders for April and May, all CloudPaper orders, you are entered into a contest to win a lifetime supply, a free lifetime supply of CloudPaper, which I think would be pretty cool. I don't know if anyone's ever had a contest to win a lifetime supply of toilet paper, but here we are. And there's a couple different tiers, so it's not one kind of a prize. It's the first tier is lifetime supply of CloudPaper, and then we have additional tiers throughout the month that we're awarding it. 3-month, 1-month subscriptions, and each of the prizes that we'll announce throughout the month also come with a pairing of a donation to a nonprofit. And so we have a list of nonprofits, like I said, that are very much focused on this issue, like One Tree Planted and American Forests. And so when you win your free CloudPaper, we're also going to, in your name, donate to one of these charities, and we're going to do more than $3,000 just the next couple of weeks in donations there. And there's other kind of fun ways to kind of get involved. So every time you refer a friend this month, we're planting 5 trees. We have a Spotify playlist called Free the Trees, where it's 22 songs of jazz and classical music that's been known to stimulate plant growth. So every time you like that or follow that playlist, another tree is getting planted there. Every time you leave a review on our website, we're planting more trees for that. So the whole month, what we're doing is we're out to, one, save trees. We're going to plant new trees and kind of reward people that are kind of coming along this journey with us. And we're calling the whole campaign "Free the Trees." Right? Very simple. Like, let's just free the trees. Let's take care of our forests. It's running all this month and all next month. And to join the challenge and to kind of rack up these points that end up in tree planting or kind of tickets into the contest, you just go to our website, cloudpaper.co, and there's a big button on the very top that says "Join the Challenge." And that will kind of help you, share the link out and whatnot to get involved.
Awesome. Yeah, because I know you guys, like, you're available like on GoPuff and other platforms, but you otherwise run like a subscription model, right? So like, tell us how like kind of that works in the context of this campaign.
Yep, absolutely. So all of the kind of entries into the contest will be through the website, cloudpaper.co, and we are set up where you kind of build a customized subscription. So essentially, you go into cloudpaper.com or .co, tell us kind of how often you think you're going to need paper towels, toilet paper, whatnot. You set it once, you forget it, done. There's also, you mentioned GoPuff and Amazon. There's other ways to kind of try CloudPaper essentially in a kind of smaller form factor. So GoPuff, for anyone who's maybe not aware, they are the kind of clear leader in this kind of instant grocery delivery category. I've been a user. Last mile delivery, yeah. Right, exactly. I mean, I think my average delivery time on GoPuff is 8.5 minutes from submitting it on the app till it being delivered. And they're one of our first partners, and probably the partners we're most excited about right now in that kind of instant category, because I think there's been a bit of a misconception generally in this space around sustainable toilet paper. It's not very high quality. A lot of people kind of have tried recycled paper, for example, and it's just not a high quality product. So we want to make it as easy as possible to try a bamboo paper product, one that we've iterated on. I think we're on, what is it? I think we're on roll number 16 in terms of different iterations across the plies we've tested, the embossing, how we make the paper to make it as soft and as high quality as possible. And
because there is this big misconception that bamboo toilet paper isn't
right.
soft. Like, where do you think that comes from?
Yeah, and so that comes from recycled and recycle. And I will say, I'll admit, I would much rather see someone use a recycled paper product than a virgin wood pulp paper product. Like, full stop. That's a better solution. The problem is recycled paper has never been and never will be a high quality product. The reason why is essentially what you're doing is you're recycling a lot of like receipt paper, newsprint, things like this. And it's hard. You can imagine it'd be very difficult to turn receipt paper into something soft and plush and nice. Right. And so for us, we want to get as many people as possible to switch to a tree-free alternative. And so we knew that, we didn't want anyone to feel like they ever had any sort of sacrifice in terms of quality. And I know that we talked earlier about all the environmental benefits of bamboo. One of the other kind of side of the coin with bamboo is it also has kind of fiber properties very similar to trees and other plants that can be pulped into a soft, absorbent, high quality paper. And so you get kind of best of both worlds here, right? You get all the environmental benefits, but you also create a high quality soft product so that people don't ever feel like they are, again, kind of making that sacrifice. And yeah. And we want to find ways to prove it, right? Because everyone has a certain bar they want to hit on their quality. And talk is cheap. And so with GoPuff, for example, we say, hey, we'll deliver you a roll or a 2-pack of rolls or whatnot through the app in 9 minutes and try it. And if you like it, come back to our website and we'll set you up with a subscription. But just try, because we really do believe strongly in the quality of our product.
And just talk about the kind of consumer traction, because there isn't a big education piece. Again, like kind of to my original point, people don't really think about the environmental impacts of something as simple as toilet paper. You guys I think once consumers are made aware of it and they try the product, they kind of stick with it. And I know that you guys got great traction as it relates to that.
Yep. Yeah, right. Exactly. And you're exactly right, Katharine, where there is kind of that people are a bit kind of jaded, where they think, oh, there's no way this is going to be soft or whatnot. But once we get people over that hurdle and they try it once, they do stick around. The vast majority of people that have ever ordered CloudPaper or tried CloudPaper are, consistent subscribers to the product. And so it's one of these things too, especially with the environmental facts. Once you see those facts, it's very, very, very hard to unsee them. And we're seeing that kind of in terms of our customer retention as well, and the people that kind of come back time and time again to order more CloudPaper. That's kind of it's proving true there. So we launched the company just under 3 years ago. I think as everyone can imagine, we had a big push into direct to consumer, direct to home subscription during COVID, when grocery stores were closed. A lot of people were kind of moving into more kind of online deliveries. Since then, now if you look at every day, there's tens of thousands of people across the US that are using CloudPaper in their homes. When we're looking at rolls delivered during that time, we're talking the millions of rolls we've sent out to households across the US in just under 3 years. And we provide our product to businesses as well, hotels, restaurants, gyms, corporate campuses. And so there's dozens and dozens of businesses also using it, and then kind of sharing the message with their employees or their customers at the restaurant, whatever it might be. And so in just a short period of time, we've seen a tremendous amount of support and momentum, and people really kind of believing in the cause and wanting to get out and help us save trees.
And I must imagine that the enterprise uptake must be, like, the impact of that must be huge, right? That if a corporate adopts a solution, that you'd see some huge environmental gains.
Right, absolutely. So it's interesting, the paper space is kind of split almost right down the middle. 50% of paper ends up in homes, 50% ends up in what you call out of home, your restaurants, airlines, whatnot. The difference though is a single company, a single brand, a single restaurant chain represents thousands or tens of thousands or even millions of individuals. And so once they kind of buy into the mission, buy into the cause, you can drive tremendous impact. You're talking very quickly, a handful of Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies, you're very quickly talking millions of trees saved when they switch their supply chain and their facilities over to a tree-free paper product.
Well, I love the story and the journey that you're on. I wish we had more time to talk about it. But
I know.
you know, it's great to be, you know, giving this message out to consumers on Earth Day. So thank you everyone for, you know, tuning in and listening to us today. And Ryan, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Katharine.
Okay, ciao, bye.
Bye.